Hi crafters, it's Karen, and I have a design team project for Diemond dies. I created a mini album, and I created my album out of this is the Mason jar mini album die set. So this is an excellent die. This die cuts through chipboard, and I mean the chipboard that you can purchase at Joann's. It's just awesome. So the die measures 7 inches tall, so it's perfect for a mini album. So cute. I also used the smaller mason jar die for my tags. I also used, this is the mini must-haves, I believe. Yes, the mini must-haves set to create my own little flowers, and I used some of the butterflies in here. This is a very sweet set as well. And I used this is a new die from the last release too, and it's called the Nesting Scallop Circles. And there's 10 dies in this particular set. So I used, I believe it's the 4-inch die, the 4-inch circle one, and I used that mostly for photo mats. Oh, I'm sorry about the background noise. But this is this set that I used mostly for, what do you call it? Photo mats. and this is the collection that I created my album out of. This is the Antique Paperie by Colorbook, and it is a very sweet collection. It's an older collection, and it's got the soft blues and mustard yellows and browns and gold tones. Really sweet. And I used this collection along with some of the stickers and a couple of the die cuts from this collection. So this is my little mini album. Some of you got a bit of a small sneak peek when I was preparing my project, but this is the completed project. I used my Bind It All to bind it, and I believe these are 1-inch binder rings. Whoops. Sorry. So let me show you. To start, I used the binder rings to tie a bunch of ribbons and twine and seam binding, just for the look of it, just for the fun of it, to give it that soft look. Some rick-rack from Recollections, some string, some other random lace from my stash, some twine, and more seam binding. Just, you know, fun. And then I also put together a little charm. I created a bottle cap using some of the paper from the collection. And then I used this little bauble that I picked up at Michael's, and a little bike that's also, I believe, from Michael's. Yeah, so just a little sweet charm there. So for the cover, I used one of the die cuts. I used a 4-inch doily, and then I used one of the little die cuts from the collection. These are, I believe, Recollections petaled flowers. And I just used like some halfback pearls and different little acrylic baubles for the centers. This is a sticker from the collection. It says Special Moments, so I used that for my title. And I backed it on some cardstock and raised it on pop dots. It's another little bling piece from Recollections. Around every jar I tied around the lid with lace or twine or seam binding or something. So I used that lace there. And then this is some measuring tape twill trim from Recollections. It came in one of those multi-packs, you know, that you could find in the dollar spot at one time. So there's that. Really cute. So for the first page, whoops, my little center came out. I'm going to have to adhere that with glue. But for the first page, it's really rather simple. I just cut a photo mat out of the collection. I used the nesting scallop die to layer behind the photo mat. This is another Michael's flower with a little bauble from, I believe that's Recollections, the tiny little flowers there. And these little flowers are flowers that I created using the Mini Must-Have set. Really cute. These three here. And I just used tiny little halfback pearls for the center. And for the next page, I used some seam binding to tie around the lid of this one. And this is another sticker from the collection. And I created another photo mat and used a Martha Stewart edge punch to create a little edge here. And I created these flowers using the Mini Must-Have set. Just really sweet and simple. And these mats are large enough for wallet-sized photos. And then the next page, I used a plain doily, paper doily as the background. This is a little, It's Perfect sticker sentiment from the collection. I backed it on some cardstock. I created these flowers using the Mini Must-Have set. Just, really simple. Layered these two, and these almost look like little, what do you call them, millinery flowers. And then the butterflies are also from the Mini Must-Have set up here. This is a Recollections flower with a little button center, cameo button center. And for this little set here, this little mason jar is from the EK Success punch. So I just punched out a few of them together. Large enough, big enough to for dates or journaling or whatever. And I just tucked it in there. And for the other side, I created a pocket here. This says, "Life is one great adventure," and I put that up on Pop-Tots, a sticker from the collection. More of these flowers that I layered. I used Martha Stewart punch edge to create this edge here. And these are Recollections lace and some halfback pearls from my stash. And then these are from the smaller mason jar die, and I just cut, for tags. I inked them. Everything has been inked with the tea stain Tim Holtz Distress ink. Here's another flower from the Mini Must-Have set, another sentiment. It's a beautiful day from the sticker sheet that goes to the collection, and I just tied off this lid with some blue twine from Target. Really cute. And then the next page, I used the one of the 4-inch size from the Nesting Scallop Circle die set. And these are die cuts from the collection, where the little rose here, and it says Life, and I backed that up on cardstock. I created these tiny little flowers from the Mini Must-Have set. I used my score tape on either side here so that I could create a bit of a pocket. And I tucked these little mason jar tags in there, and these are also from the smaller mason jar die, from Diemond Dies. And this is another sentiment from the collection. It says Discover. And a Recollections flower up here. And for the next side, I used some seam binding to tie this side off, to tie this lid off. And with a sticker from the collection, it says A Must See, and I added another little flower from the Mini Must-Haves. And then this ties here, and just it's extra room for a couple more photos. So this particular page will hold 3 photos. and I just finished it off with some lace or some trim from Michaels and some halfback pearls from my stash. And then the next page, the next page is this. This is a die cut from the collection. It says Love, and I just adhered it here so that I could use it as a type of a pocket. And this is a flower I created from the mini must-haves, and this is a Recollections flower, and I just added a little bauble in the center there and a little piece of bling and a couple more of the mason jar tags that I had cut from the collection. And then this is a paper doily here for another photo mat. Another sentiment says Sweet here from the sticker set, and then another Michaels flower with a little bauble in the center. Just sweet and simple, you know. This will hold some cute little summer photos. I used the 4-inch nesting circle or scallop circle die set for another photo mat here. This is another sticker from the collection. It says Stop and Smell the Roses, and I raised it on Pop-Tots, backed it on cardstock, then raised it on Pop-Tot so that, you know, a photo can fit behind there. And then I made this into a pocket as well so that there would be something for journaling or perhaps another little photo. And I used another sticker from the collection. It says Admit One. Really cute. And some of these stickers have a little bit of glitter on them. Really cute. And some more flowers I created from the mini must-haves die set. And then this is some seam binding from my stash. I had to spray it it was yellow, but I sprayed it to bring out more of a mustard look so it would match better. So I tied the lid off with that. And then the next page is another photo mat. This is another little mason jar tag. And another photo mat with a layered on top of a paper doily. This is a sentiment from the sticker sheet. It says Follow Your Heart, and I just cut it into a fishtail banner and adhered it here so that the tag could fit behind. These are butterflies from the mini must-have set, along with the little flower I created from the mini must-haves, and some smaller flowers here, and a Recollections flower there with a little bauble center. These bauble centers are really sweet. I can't remember if I got them from Michaels or if they're from Hobby Lobby, but really cute. They have little rhinestones in the center. So that's that page. And then for the last page, I just layered one of my doilies, paper doilies, on top of one of the 4-inch nesting scallop circles, and so it showed off the blue, you know, in the background there. So I thought that was cute. I used the mini must-have set to punch out some more little millinery type flowers there. Layered a couple of pieces of crochet trim for my stash and some halfback pearls. This sentiment, A Charmed Life, Isn't It Delightful? That's from the sticker set, and I just backed it on cardstock, raised it on Pop-Dots, and a little butterfly from the mini must-haves. And for this jar, I tied it off with a piece of twine. And as you saw in my previous video, I had accentuated the lids for the all my jars using my Faber-Castell pens, you know, so that you could see where the rings are for the jar. So that's that. And then the back cover looks like this. I used my mason jar punch to just punch this out so I could date and sign it. So that's the jar. I think that this canning jar makes the sweetest little album. I mean, just so cute. You could even make, you know, tags, just plain old tags with it. It's just a great die to have. So there's that. And I also used the Steampunk Gears set. I used what was left, the gears that were left over from the canvas I did for Father's Day. And I created this tag, and I gave a sneak peek on this in my previous video as well, but I wanted to share it now that it's, you know, completed. And these are the gears that I used that were left over from that canvas, and I just layered them. And this is a seahorse from the Tim Holtz Sea and Sand the Sizzix die. Kind of tried to steampunk that seahorse out a bit. I did a lot of stamping, a little bit of texturing. This in the background here is cheesecloth that I sprayed with my Lindy Stamp Gang. These are flowers that I colored, a little piece of metal here in the corner from my stash. So I thought it came out really cool. And I just tied it off with some ribbon, seam binding, and twine. So just a real sweet little tag. So those are my projects. So I'm going to leave all the information for Diemond Dies in the description box, where you can go and when you spend $35 or more, you can save 10% plus get free shipping if you use coupon code ThanksKaren. And I'm going to leave a link also to a Diemond Dies video where it details you about the new